here we go. Twitch chat doesn't know anything, guys. Hello to everyone on YouTube. But there was no first try before or anything. This is just fresh going into it. Hello everyone to a league season number 5, game number 1. And we have a banger of a game already coming up, guys. We have Karma versus Quadryu, the winner of last season versus the up-and-comer from Division 2. And we have a new map as well. Kibutsny is the map. It was not in the map pool last season. We changed the rules a bit. So now it's in, but you also have more map bans. So if you don't want to play on it, you think it's imbalanced, you can just ban it. But if you like it, then you can just keep it unbanned. And the people liked it, so that's why we got it here. And that's how we got here. And now let's get into a cast. And let's get this game casted. Hopefully it will be a good one. Because, yeah. Up till now, the day didn't went as planned. Yeah. But hey. Third times is the charm. Third times is the charm. So, yeah. Already did the push-ups. Mr. Reef. Already did the push-ups. So here we go. On the right side, in red, Quadryu with third mechanized, which is one of the top divisions out there at the moment. I'm surprised to not see it banned, as we also upped the bans by 2, up to a number of 10. Whilst Karma is playing 5th Panzer, which is a solid division, but not amazingly good either. Like, it's for sure, after 10 bans, a division that you can pick, but I'm surprised to see it played. But I know Karma likes German tank divisions, so I guess after the bans there weren't that many over, so that's why we got here. And yeah, here we come in again. Because you got 2 bans, most cases, if you don't want to play on it, just ban it. If you don't want to play on it, just ban it out there. Ognova coming in, you got extra bans for it after all. If you like Breast Vest, then just don't ban it and ban something else that you don't like. Easy as that. I think it's a good compromise. Allows us to see more maps being played. Gives us a bit more variety till we finally get more maps from Eugen, which are in the work, obviously. Like, so I'm looking forward to that. But let's get into this game. 13-11 happening right now. Down here. Quadryu getting the flag. And here goes the SDK. So yeah. Third mechanized. With its Shermans, Su-76s. A lot of cheap infantry, Partisanis as well, like really solid CQC infantry with Molotovs. Against 5th Panzer with 20mm. Also half-tracks, which are pretty meta at the moment. Tigers not so much. Yeah, like division-wise I think Quadryu has the advantage, but obviously we have seen Karma win with divisions that were supposed to be the weaker part previously already. So wouldn't be surprised if he manages to get the win here as well. As he also, it's also obviously comes down to the practice with divisions. But I know that Quadryu played his third mechanized quite a bit. He played it last season already, quite a couple of times, with pretty good success. After all, he won Division 2. So, yeah, let's see how it goes. Karma is trying to take back the south. Manages to do so right now. Really comes in. And yeah, the Berry, Guardias, Partisanis coming in the north. And Ersatztruppen coming in as well. Guerrilla firing over here. Shooting onto the Guardias. And more of Clearers coming in as well. Pioneers and Panzer Grenadiers moving in over here. Here we go. The Ognova and Partisanis and Guardias, hold on. Half-track not helping out, so the infantry of Karma will lose this fight. Because they're obviously heavily outgunned and outnumbered there. Without the half-track support, the infantry overall of Karma will suffer. Like, the half-tracks is the advantage he has in this game, and that's what he has to use, I think, for winning infantry fights. And then obviously tank fights, he has the advantage. if it comes to like pure quality with Panzer IVs, with Veteran C and Tigers, Panthers, but obviously when it comes to affordable quantity, third mechanized is also pretty nice. With the Valentines now, since the 10 hit point buff, really strong units, same for the Su-76. And obviously Shermans being the beasts that they ever have been, or nearly always have been. Like, right after the 60 point increase, they were not that amazingly crazy anymore, but they were still good. And since the buff of tank MGs, which they have some of the best of, like they have 3 MGs, one of them being a 50 cal, they are once again up on the top of the food chain. No question. Like, there's no question about that. Germans are in the top 3 tanks, no matter what you go by, who you ask. Germans are there. And yeah, Quadri up to 1311 now. Gets the flag in the south. 1410 it is. Flag 41 comes up here as well. Hazard's Triple and Panzer Grenadiers coming in. And in the north, the Berries and MCHAs and Su-76s pushing in. Down here, Hazard's Triple and Panzer Grenadiers trying to move in as well. The mortar half-track rolls in from the side. And yeah, Hazard's Triple and Panzer Grenadiers. Yeah, as I said, Mr. Lord, like, I get it that it's one of his main divisions, but like, just based on the divisions, it's the weaker division here, 5th Panzer. But yeah, Karma obviously likes to play German armored divisions like 12th SS, 5th Panzer and so on, are all some of the divisions he plays the most, so he will be good with them. Saperi just get their QT out before getting pushed back, so quite lucky there for Quadri, getting down the Pioneers nearly. And now the Shermans and Su-76s come in, try to deal with the SD KFZs. Panzer IV already goes down. The KFZ has to disengage. Disengage is a bit too late. Panzer Track now trying to come up. All the armored units going down for Karma up here. Gets the first MCHA, but there's still one more and 2 Su-76s left behind. So overall not that amazing of a trade for Karma. Valentine though, in the middle, gets killed off by a Tiger. On this range, Valentines will struggle of dealing any damage to a Tiger, so that on this range you really don't want to engage them. Having Tigers shooting down the road is rather dangerous. Off map coming in here for Karma as well. Both sides playing Vanguard up, so yeah, no one having any income advantages or so in the late game. It's just pure capturing of flags and trading out well, like no shenanigans going on there with like one side being the defender, one side being the aggressor, just complete skill matchup in that regard, like getting more kills, like who outplays the enemy just in pure trades is the guy who will most likely win, or the guy who gets sneaky flags. Like, those are the 2 ways to victory in an income mirror. Pioneers over here, engaging the Partisanis. The Berries coming in. Partisani number 1 goes down. Panzer Track trying to stay around. That's Struppen. In the north, under struggle. Like, heavy pressure in the north overall from Quadri. Really, really heavy pressure. In the south, it's a bit of a standoff. The Amtrak will try to come around, I guess, at some point, but 536 is on heat shell fire, and if the Amtrak pops up over here, it will be in range, so then the 536 has good chances of killing it. And Karma sets up for a push in the middle. The center push should be rather strong, whilst in the north more reinforcements come in for him to try to hold on to the forces of Quadri up there. It could be achieving a breakthrough at any point. Like, yeah. 2 Su-76s plus 2 Shermans is a dangerous force for, like, in any matchup. So Karma does some good micro, like the micro early on here was pretty nice, but it just was a bit off, and obviously his units were also outnumbered, so it was quite rough. Interesting smoke here to block the Sis-2 and MCHA from getting some side shots. Good play there as well, to just really allow his Tigers and Panzer IVs to push frontally into his town, together with the infantry. Like, this is why Karma is the champion. Plays like that, ideas like that. And yeah. 4th Panther coming in. 536. Trying to aim onto the Guardias, not quite getting there though. One thing you have to say about Karma though is that usually in the group phase he is not as good as when he is in the playoffs. So I would see Karma as a favorite in this game, in this match, but he struggled last season against players that he destroyed in the playoffs later on, or like played much better compared to what he played in the group stage, and he might do the same again this season. I don't know how much he practiced this time. Like last season, I know he didn't practice that much at the beginning, and then for the playoffs he really prepared well, and you could see that. Like, we might have seen the best play ever from any player in league history last season from Karma in the playoffs. Like, it was a really, really high level play, and he absolutely earned the championship there, beating Gonzo 3-1 in the finals after losing 2-3 last season to him. So winning more dominant than Gonzo won against him, especially as in season 3 Karma even went up 4-2-0 and nearly had it there, and then Gonzo came back with a three games in a row reverse sweep. But yeah, overall Matcherino looks like he's in a good spot here. He's known for his relentless pushing. Yeah, he's a bit more careful than he used to be in lower divisions, but obviously against Karma you have to be a bit more precise. You can't just A-click everything forward, so the 76s and Shermans over here get microed pretty well. Whilst in the center, Karma's push is starting to work out here, but he lost the Tiger, which is quite a heavy loss. Panther Ado is up there to replace it, and that's obviously a dangerous unit as well. And he is in the town, and if he can like get a bit more hold of this town, then Matcherino would be in danger in this game. But at the same time, Matcherino puts up a strong push in the south. So let's see how it goes. Okay. Yeah. Jump. Plus. Okay. So yeah, Panzer Grenadiers come up. And here we go. Pioneers engaging Partizani. SDK will get the kill most likely as well. And so 4Hs coming in here. Can Karma hold on and stabilize and keep his combined arms together? 1410 is not that dangerous. It's only 23. Like, still 20 minutes. But obviously as soon as it goes up to 59, then the situation changes quite a bit. But he starts to get his combined arms up. He gets his AA, he gets Panthers on the field, he has Mortar half-track. Oh, the combined arms of 3rd Mechanized doesn't get much better. It's super affordable, and it's super good in the early game, but it doesn't scale well into the late game. Like, that's the issue of 3rd Mechanized. It has a super affordable, super good early game combined arms, and if you continuously trade out with the enemy, then you will win. But as soon as you give the division like 5th Panzer a chance to set up their combined arms, then they can absolutely beat you. So question is, can Matcherino get up to 59 and maybe take down Karma fast enough, or can Karma stay, well, like get some really nice kills on some of these units over here, or will Karma be allowed to get his fully combined arms up and crush him in the long run? Panzer 4 goes down. Panther Dove stops the Tango de Sanikis. Ooh, flank by the Yamcha, works out, gets a penetration. Panther now really in danger, has to move back, I think. Karma not moving the Panther back is a big mistake. Like, this should be falling back over here with return order. That it stays. Turns fast enough though to show frontal armor to the Sherman. Doesn't hit with its own shot though. It looks like Karma gets pushed out of here again. Can the Panther get another shot off? Not quite yet. Now Karma is reversing, but the Valentine's is around the corner. MG42 and Panther pin down the Tango de Sanikis, but Sherman comes around again. Good micro there by Matcherino. getting killed on the Panther. And that's like, yeah, these plays really make Sherman so dangerous. The extra aim time, the good availability with veterancy, all of that makes Sherman such a dangerous tank on everything below 1000 meter range. And yeah, Panther on the other side is really the guy for the longer ranges. So it was a good matchup there for Pradoyu. The Panther here was not there supposed to be the frontline tank. It was supposed to have some Panzer IVs or so in front of it. Like we had that before, where the Panther was just being there behind the Panzer IVs doing the final shots. But now the Panther was on the front line, and that was the end of the Panther, and might be the end of Karma here, because it's a 17-7 now. Pradoyu has stabilized in the center completely. There's no push potential there for Karma. Karma will try now to win back the north with half tracks, with Panzer Grenadiers, Panzer IVs engaging as well. Panther's on the hunt for the Sherman, for the amateur. So maybe he can get back the north, but more reinforcements on the way for Pradoyu, and yeah. I would always expect Pradoyu to be the aggressor in all these upcoming games we will see from him in the league. That's what he usually plays like, and like it often ends close with like the enemy nearly coming back, but at the moment it looks like Pradoyu might have this game. Pak 36 just ever so slightly not in range for its heat shells, so the infantry here has to be careful. Karma gets it back to a 10-14 for a couple of seconds at least. We'll try to push in over here onto the flag as well, I think. No. Not just yet. Gets it back to 13-11. Gets the Sherman killed in the north. Su-85 will deal with the Panzer Grenadiers though. More infantry needed here for Karma to push the northern flag again. And yeah, maybe he should push onto these flags with his armored forces. Germans can be side-shotted here, but Pak 36 is an efficient shot, I think, and even the side armor of a Sherman is pretty decent with 50mm. Pak 36 AP shells only having 65mm of penetration, so it doesn't fire its shot there. Overall, like the AT tab is one of the weaknesses, I think, of 5th Panzer. Not amazing, not too amazing there. So one of the reasons why I think it's one of the weaker tank divisions. Brings up some Pak 40s. German not falling. Oh no, Panther, did he got frontally penetrated? Yeah, Sherman gets the frontal penetration onto the Panther. Really unlucky there. Really unlucky for Karma there. MG42 over here gets eliminated, so Pradoyu gets himself a 15-9 again by grabbing the flag in the middle. And he could even just push over, I think, here with the Shermans now. And this is really bad news for Karma. He needs to push now in the north, and without the Panther, it gets quite a bit harder. That job just got quite a bit harder. Su-85 is coming around on the north as well. Pak 36 tried to stay away from enemy infantry, but now the Safaris found it. So that's another unlucky circumstance there for Karma. He is under a lot of pressure, and it doesn't look as good for his combined arms anymore as it was like 10 minutes ago, or like 7 minutes ago. So he is under a lot of pressure, and as long as he can keep up the 10-14, I think there is hope that he will come back in 14 minutes. But because I think the trades lately are still pretty okay for him. But the question is, will he be able to do so? One of his left Focke-Wulf A8s. I'm surprised we didn't see any earlier, because there's no AA whatsoever on the side of 3rd Mechanized, and their air tab is pretty weak. So, especially with a Flak 41 already coming in the middle, I would have expected more Focke-Wulf strafing runs from the beginning from Karma, because that's obviously one of his key moves. One of the moves that he can do basically every game. So, not having that around was a surprise. Ruler goes down. Tiger E here having its loader killed. Panzer IV keeps on engaging. Su-85 is around, and Shermans get the Pak 40 without losing one of their own. Quite unlucky there for Karma as well. Brings it back to an 11-13 though. Can he get it further? Panther A coming up, more Panzer IV coming up. It's a clutch game. Matcherino keeps on the pressure though. He keeps on the pressure. SDK coming in over here. And Focke Wolf A8 flying around in the skies. 12 minutes to go. Panzer Grenadiers go down. Panzer IV engaging the Saperis. Get them pinned down. Can they finish them off? T-34 comes around, tries to engage the Ersatztruppen. And that would be the 59. Karma can't lose this flag. He should micro his Ersatztruppen one building further forward. Or backwards. Like I think one to the back would be perfect, yeah. Now realizing that he's under fire. But yeah, they said we were already pinned down, so they couldn't swap into the next building. Oh, the MG42 pinning down the Flak 41 is really important here. Oh no, even killing it off maybe. Oh no! Just the last second kill off there before going down. Really bad news here. Oh, Flak 36 not hitting either. Oh, it goes. Oh, two really unlucky moments there for Karma. Wait, that was another one not. Oh my god. 2 misses there onto the Pak 36. Ah, this hurts. This hurts for Karma. Quite a bit. Emcha obviously getting the first shot directly penetration against the Panzer IV. Like, yeah, it's not going well for Karma right now in the center. Looks like it's the beginning of the end here. This push now will be absolutely tough to hold, and he lost his northern position as well. Like, yeah, Matcherino just won everywhere by now, I think. So, yeah, it's the power of the third. Matcherino really good with that division, and shows us why he thinks it's SK division. And I agree with him. Like, in the current meta, the tools they get just work out perfectly. In the current medium tank meta, the Valentines as the medium tank destroyer, the Shermans as everything, as the guys who beat up all the enemy infantry and kill everything in CQC, is a perfect combination if you combine it with the good Molotov infantry and the Partisanis in A phase and Tankodesanikis in B phase, and then just cheap, affordable line infantry with the Guardias. I think the division is quite vulnerable to airstrikes, but airstrikes in the current tank meta are not as strong anymore. Sure, people still will cry about medium tanks, medium fighter bombers and so on, and they are still good in the right matchup, and like if you give them enough time, they will still destroy you. But the thing is, with third mechanized, you don't have to give the enemy enough time to destroy you with fighter bombers. You just push, and if the enemy invests too much into fighter bombers, you just kill him before he can get the ground back. Like, I think fighter bombers got nerfed indirectly by the buffs to tanks. Before they were just too strong, and obviously we also had some nerfs to minor nerfs to them already applied, and together with the tank meta coming in, I think fighter bombers are still really strong, and like if you play the wrong division, like they might be a reason why we have the tank meta, because infantry just really struggles against it. But against the medium tank push like third mechanized, I don't think fighter bombers are that easy to play, and yeah, Karma here is basically done. He is down to 7 flags. His Panther here is going into CQC fight with Shermans. Second Sherman comes in from the side, gets the kill, and yeah, it looks like Karma will not go through this group stage undefeated once more. Looks like he will struggle a bit in the group stage again. In game number 1, it looks like he already takes his first loss. So, which is good. Like, seeing that people can beat the champion is good to see. Especially like up-and-comers like Matcherino, knowing that the new guys in the pack are able to beat the guys we know already. It's really nice to see. And yeah, I still think, even though Karma plays a lot with 5th Panzer, I still think it was not a good choice for this matchup and the map. Like, this map has a lot of forests and so on, and 5th Panzer is just not that good in it. And also here, medium tanks really prevail, whilst Like, yeah, having one Panther or so, like one heavy boy in the middle is good, but you have to rely too heavily on the big boys, the big cats with Fifth Panzer. So, yeah, I don't know. Oh my god, also the Pak 36s just don't want to hit at all, do they? Like another miss with the Pak 36. I know the accuracy is rather low on the heat shells, but still, not getting any kills here. Oof, 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 oof. Panzer Grenadier coming in over here. The Panzer IV coming in from the side. 16-8 though, and yeah, Quadriu will take this one home. Getting his first win in Division 1. Already getting his chances of getting to the playoffs quite a bit higher, because I don't think too many people will take points off of Kama in the group stage. I'm pretty sure Kama is still a favorite of getting out of this group stage and beating quite a couple of other guys 2-0. So getting 1 point at least already out of it is pretty nice. In game number 1. 24 minutes. 1,000 more kills for Quadriu. Obviously that was mostly thanks to Kama than suiciding in the late game. But overall, really good play here by Quadriu. GGVP in game number 1. And yeah, see you guys in game number 2. We'll go into a short break. Set that up. You missed the gunmetal? Yeah. So here we go. Game number 2. Orsha Ace is the map. And we got both sides on German divisions. As the bands were mostly allies. I will read out the bands in a second. Let's go over division. And these are really interesting. A division we haven't seen since season 1. But back then it was absolutely amazing. And it got buffed lately quite a bit. 78th Sturm. On the other side, we this time have Quadriu on the Heavy Panzer division. This is also an old brand. It's Panzerlehr, which I think is quite a bit better than 5th Panzer. Just already because of the Pumas, but like overall just all around a bit better division. Yeah, 78th Sturm, a division that was absolutely dominating in season 1 and like the early stages of Steel Division 2 overall. Like the Orsha Cup and so on, but then fell off absolutely heavily increased together with the nerfs of the MG42s and the shift from IS-2 meta to where the Nashorns were good to medium tank meta where the Nashorns are absolutely atrocious against. Since the buff though to 10 hit points, they're okay. And then some of the infantry got cheaper as well now, lately. And so overall, they're just got buffed quite a bit. They just got quite a buffed quite a bit. And after 10 bans, maybe they're worth picking now, but they're still not up there. Like, it's still an odd choice. It's still something you wouldn't fully expect, but it's cool to see. Yeah. Storm, I think? No. I think it was Quadryu who picked first. I think Karma took the counter pick here. We had the bans on second guards, so someone doesn't like T-3485s. Second New Zealanders, which are a pretty strong new division. 20 of Panzer, so some hate on German tank divisions. Third Mechanized, third US, so third Guards Tank Corps, third Canadian, so all the thirds gone because they're all top tier. Yeah, 21st and 12th SS, so more hate on German tank divisions. And then 116th, another pick on German tank divisions. And 116th is really interesting because a lot of people don't see them as that high. I think they're a decent division, but also not in the top 10. I wouldn't ban them, especially not in a map that is not as tank favored. Like Orchard East is not a super high, super tank favorite map. So I'm surprised to see 116th being on the ban list. I think it's more so Quadryu banning, like he banned them against Karma, because knowing that Karma likes to play them. So, interesting ban there. Well, guys, get your predictions in again. You have some predictions up. Yeah, use your channel points and see where we go. Schützen coming in. Pack 40's coming in. Get us some Pioneers. Referee going in over here. Let's see how it goes. Puma's already out as well. But Sturmschützen get into the buildings. And these are 13 MG42s, so everything that gets too close to these guys will get some fire into their face. Like, these guys have some fire, quite some firepower. So Puma's obviously, together with a 20mm, will deal with infantry pretty well as well. But there comes the Pack 40 and the Stug. So Puma and Half-Track run into that issue. Whilst in the north, we have a heavy battle going on as well. Puma over here dies to the Panzervernichtungs. Pioneers killing off the Flammenwerfers. But now we have 2-star veterancy Panzer Grenadiers versus 0-star Sturmschützen plus Pioneers. But the Sturmschützen are in heavy cover. The Panzer Grenadiers went into the light cover, so they should lose here heavily. As obviously also 13 men versus 10 man squads. And MG42 is got nerfed, sure, but there's on the range where they actually can fire, and like above 100 meter, they're still absolutely dangerous. You don't want to run into those. Like, yeah, the veterancy is missing a bit. Getting a leader in there would be nice, I think, for Karma. But other than that, his Sturmschützen and Pioneers should be a really effective force up there. Especially as Panzerlair doesn't get too much CQC. Like, they will struggle in the fights in the forest. They get some Pioneers themselves and so on, but Panzer Grenadiers don't excel in deep forest fights. So, yeah. Down here, we have a Pack 40. And so forth. I don't think it was a small investment. I mean, we had quite a couple of units dying. I think it was 4 infantry squads from each side. Plus a Puma and a Panzervernichtung. So I don't think that counts as a small investment. And usually this map is one in the middle, so... Like, the north is a nice flag you gain, and like it can force the enemy to be a bit more aggressive, because you have a constant tick on him if you have the north. But if you win the center, you just win the map. So you always have to keep that in mind on this map. And at the moment it looks like Quadryu plays for the position over here. Panzer 4 is moving up. Panzer 3s as well. And MG42 engaging Pioneers in the north. Yeah, MG42s are dangerous, you just don't want to run into them at the moment. Like, they deal quite a bit of damage. Stooks coming in to deal with this light armored force. And I think that's a good counter. Like, I don't know if Panzer III H's are the right choice for this terrain. Like, I think they're solid up here, where you can, like, use them more as a CQC unit that is armored. But on the open terrain, against a division that has quite a couple of Stooks and so on, I don't know how amazing they are. And, like, also quite a bit of good AT. The issue with AT in 78th Sturm is that everything is quite pricey, other than what's the APCR 1000 meter range one being called? Just forgot the name. But yeah, those are obviously not that amazing. So the rapid fire 1000 meter range ones, I just can't grab the name in my head right now. The memories just won't pop up. But yeah, so that's a bit of an issue. So I guess light armor is a good idea against it. The question is, do you really want to run into it on the open field? Like, that's the move I think is a bit questionable here from part review. But 13-11 it is for Karma right now, thanks to the North. It's a pretty chilled out game so far. And yeah, you can see a Stook in the North is super dangerous for all the armored forces around here. Already getting 2 killed. Already paid off for itself. And Panzer IIIH will not do much damage to it. The Panzer IIIH also is out of position to run anywhere. So 3 kills already for the Stook. And the Panzer IIIH also can't run away really. So Stook should be able to get the next kill here in as well. Gets the first penetration. Another Pak 40 coming up. Panzer IIIH over here gets killed off as well. 2 Stooks coming in. Panzer IV, I think, went south. I think that's this one. But yeah. The light armored forces of Quadriu, I think, were a misinvestment in this matchup. Like, I like the Panzer IIIHs, don't get me wrong. Like, that's the reason, one of the reasons to play Panzer, that they get these cheap 30-point tanks in A phase. That can be super helpful with dealing with infantry and so on. But it's against a division with that many Stooks, they're just absolutely ineffective. Yeah, Panzerbüchse. Thanks, Ermin. Thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, I was like, it wasn't the normal pack name. It was a special name, but yeah, Panzerbüchse it is. And yeah, the Stook here, really important investment here for Kama. Taking out so many targets all around the map. Now even engaging the MG42. 2 Panzer IVs coming up. Question is, how early will they engage? If they get a bit closer, then the Stook will be in trouble, especially against 2-star veteran C Panzer IVs. But if the Stook can get him on long range, the Panzer IVs might lose out in that engagement. But we have a Pak 40 also coming around. Stook moved a bit back. What is it engaging? It's still, I think I'm getting onto the MG42. Somehow this pioneer of Quadro, who got the flag in the North, he goes up to a 59, which is quite surprising. With Pak 40 over here, puts some danger onto the Panzer IVs. They retreat. 3-star veteran C Panzer IVs at the moment. Off map, 110mm coming in as well. Might be that Kama wants to push in the middle right now. Pak 43 coming in. Ooh, that's a big boy. Not quite sure if it's needed by now, but you don't have too many other AT guns maybe in A or Kama. And yeah, Marder's already coming in as well. So that's 3 different cards of AT at least. He has Marders, he has Pak 43s, and he has Pak 40s in A. So 3 different kinds of AT slots already filled in A phase. Which might be relevant if this game goes on longer. Like if we get a quick finish here, that might not be an issue, but if you have to go into a long game against the Panzer, then running out of AT might be a problem. But so far the Martyrs do a stellar job up here. Killing a couple more Panzer IIIHs. Stook got killed off, so does the Pak 40. 1 Panzer IV falls, and there's 2 more Stooks around in the north though. I didn't saw them because they were blocked by the infantry cards, but yeah, 2 more Stooks actually just make it easily holdable again for Kama. Sure he loses Turk, sure he loses Pack 40, but he gets 3 Panzer Force, 2 Panzer Force? 2 Panzer Force, so it's still an okay trade. Even getting the flag over here, because Puma and Speerwagen 234-1 don't affect the front line as they're recon vehicles. And here we have the Marder 3 versus the Marder 2 combat. The Marder 2 is the superior one when it comes to the gun, but that doesn't really matter because any penetration here could mean a kill anyways. Oh no, they're both. The Marder 1 is the one with the. No, both have a Pack 40 actually. So the Marder 2 has the advantage in frontal armor. That's the difference. But yeah, they both have 100% of penetration against each other. Ooh, Fokker Wolf coming in here, but Karma is on the hunt. Fokker Wolf will try to get away. Or not. What are you trying to outturn the Fokker ME-109, but that doesn't work out too easily. Gets some shots fired into himself. Will the ME-109 stay on it? Yeah, ME-109 keeps the turn on it, gets the kill. Since the changes to fighters, that works out. Like, yeah, you can't just usually outturn an ME-109 and just run away. Like, since the buff to the attack angle, getting into a dogfight with an ME-109 G6R6 and not microing your Fokker Wolf, if they get close enough behind you, just means you lose your Fokker Wolf. And that's what we just saw. And that's a nasty loss for Quadriview in the air here. A good win for Karma, but he got a bit greedy there. Used his ME-109 for strafing, and now he has a Fokker Wolf on his heels. Let's see if he can get the micro correct and stop the Fokker Wolf from attacking. Maybe even get another plane called in, as the Fokker Wolf is going really deep here into enemy air territory, and yeah, Quadriview realizing that's not the way to go. Let's run away. Pack 40 in the south at the same time though goes down, and somehow the Schützen here can't hold on the front line against the Flammenwerfers and get completely encircled. ME-109 keeps on strafing as the Fokker Wolf was called back instead of only microed back by Quadriview, so it will take a while to come back, and in that time the ME-109 can keep on strafing. Like, yeah, good quick thinking there by Karma, always using his planes to the maximum. Something I really enjoy about his play, that his fighters always stay around for some strafing action and so on, using them already if you paid for them, not just only as anti-air. Pack 40 coming in the south now, and this is a really nice game. And yeah, Quadriview still tries to keep up the pressure, but will be interesting to see if he can. The Jagdpanzer in the north should at least secure him from getting pushed here. But if a Pack 40 comes around, he has to be careful. Pack 40 is coming through the forest now, I think. Nope. Staying there for now. No given order by Karma. Schützen over here pushing back the Panzer Grenadiers. Schützen obviously having quite a lot of firepower, being a 13-man squad with 2 MG42s. So, like on max range, as much firepower as Panzer Grenadiers. On medium range, a bit more with the Carabines. And then CQC also with an extra MP40. But 35 points obviously is quite pricey. They're like basically just like buffed up Panzer Grenadiers. Like you pay 5 more points and you get 3 more men with basic equipment for it. Like if you would get an extra MG42, then they would be pretty good, I think. With 3 MG42s, these guys would be kinda insane, but the way it is, they're just like basically on par with Panzer Grenadiers when it comes to cost efficiency. And Quadriview keeps up the 12-12 in the south. Pack 43 actually up here, engaging the Jagdpanzer, but might get pinned down before it gets another shot off. No, just ever so slightly not, but misses the shot. Now the Pack 43 is retreating. MG42s of Karma engaging onto the Jagdpanzer. Pack 40 trying to come around. MG42s over here should be pinned down. Skuk maybe should also come up to deal with the MG42. And Quadriview sends in more 20mm. Not sure if that's the right choice here. Looks a bit odd to me. Jagdpanzer now getting engaged by Pack 40. Like they don't stand a chance against Stuks all around. Pak 43 also survives. Pak 40 gets the kill on the Jagdpanzer, so they don't have any armored support behind it either, and they don't affect the front line even. So Yama gets the 1410 now in the north. In the south, it still looks pretty good though for Quadryu. He has more tanks here. He killed off another Pak 40. So can he get the push through in the south? Like, yeah, he realized, Quadryu realizing sending in 4 of them would be suicide, so he sends them into the center. But that means giving up the flag in the north for now. Like the sneaky pioneer behind enemy front line. The sneaky pioneer there might help out by killing off something in transport later on in the game. Pak 40 now engaging onto the Martyr. Somehow not being able to target it just yet. Now getting the target in, but we'll get a second shot off. Not quite yet. Ooh, when Focke-Wulf... Martyr goes down though. Okay. Focke-Wulf gets the kill onto the ME-109. And gets the strafing run onto the Pak 40 as well, nearly killing it. Yeah, that's the danger of Focke-Wulf A8s. The 420mm are absolutely deadly. We don't want to fight against those. Like, yeah, Focke-Wulf's some of the best fighters in the game at the moment. And if you don't have an A8 setup with some nice fires as well, then your ground units are a bit in danger as well. Lumberfer up in the north, trying to take the flag back for Quadryu. Flag 41 coming in the south. Has to be careful though to not get killed off in transport. Goes a bit deep maybe. Pak 40 engaging onto Panzer 4. With Pak 40 over here. Gets killed off. Flag 41 now unloading. Stoke over here is dangerous as well though for Quadryu. He has to be careful himself. More Pumas and Pioneers coming in the south. And now the SDKF that's moved to the north again. Trying to move along the ridge, which is out of line of sight for most of the forest. 1311 continues. Schützen over here under a lot of fire. These half-tracks are annoying. Like, half-tracks overall are just really good units at the moment. Especially like for the ones for 5 points. Enforcing the enemy to get something AT there, whilst being able to bully infantry of the enemy. They usually pay off pretty easily. Might also be a bit too strong, especially the ones with 50 cals and so on. Like, you might have to consider a couple of changes there. Half-track over here gets killed off by the Pak 40, but the other one still continues firing onto the Schützen. Jar in a duel with the Pioneers. More Sturmschützen, Pioneers and Panzerschrecks coming in over here. The Panzerschrecks should be able to get the kill onto the SDKZ, I guess. Whilst Quadryu sets up a push in the south. Another Jagdpanzer comes in the north to stop the push. Yeah, one of the SDKZs got bailed out, but the other 3 get into the light forest. We're going to try to push over the open. MG42 over here is about to go down. Number 1 gets killed off. Number 2 now under fire. MG42 over here. Engages the Pioneers. Be able to kill them off. Yes. Here we go. Another Panther D hits the battlefield running in the north. Schützen in the forest. Here's a Sturmschützen coming around over here. This looks like a really balanced out game right now. Like, this game could go long. We are at minute 18 now, so we're getting close to C-phase, and in C-phase both incomes will start to crumble, and the game might slow down significantly at that point, because then every trade is super important, so you don't want to lose any of your planes or so. This J188 is a dangerous call-in if the enemy has Focke-Wulfs, and your only AA is a Flak 41. Like, if you would have a Flak 40, Flak 37 or Flak 41 around, Flak 43 around, then I think this would be an absolutely safe call, but the way it is with the Fokker Wolves around, that was risky. But Quadru doesn't challenge us with Fokker Wolves. Look goes down instantaneously to the Panzer Force. That's rather unfortunate. Panzer Strikers get the Puma, but none of the Panzer Force. That's 2 Panzer Force remaining, and 2 Panzer Force with this veterancy against the Flak 41 without veterancy actually could work out. I'm not quite sure how the line of sight on the Pak 40 and the NAS one works out though. They might be able to help out. I think the NAS one should be able to help out if these pop onto the Flak 41. But maybe not. More Panzer 4s and Panzer 3s coming in the north. 1311 for Quadru is SDKFZs try to be sneaky in the forest again. Look coming around to try to deal with that. Nashorn as well. So yeah, we have some Nashorns in this division. It's a 12-12. I'm surprised that we don't see like the... Yeah, I think Quadru really hates on heavier tanks because we don't see like any Tigers or Panthers, which is a bit of a surprise if you play them in the first place. Like I would expect like at least 1 Tiger or so to pop around, but he seems to be absolutely against it. Like Tiger on its own is not good, but at this point in the game, having them in the back line is actually pretty decent. So I guess against the heavy AT of the enemy, it's a dangerous call in. I guess that's the reason why. Like against, like yeah, 78 was pretty good in dealing with everything heavy. But against medium, they are a bit less cost efficient. Oh my god, these SDKs that's actually might be able to get a fully kill onto a Pak 40. Well, the Pak 40 gets at least 1 killed off, but it's still a fair trade there for Quadru. Okay, firing onto the Pioneers over here. It's a 12-12 still. And in the late game, 78 Storm is pretty decent. They have artillery, they have a solid air tap, they have really good AA, they have Flak 41s, and they have also Flak 43s if I remember correctly. So, yeah, AA plus artillery is scary in the late game. So if he's gonna see that, then I think Quadru might be in trouble here. For now, he has a heavy armored push coming in the north. But there's still 2 Stooks and Nashorn around. The Nashorn spotted the Pioneers, which is quite lucky for the Nashorn because it's an open top vehicle, so it would have drove by right next to the Pioneers. It would have taken quite a bit of extra damage. Will take a while for a Nashorn though to take out the Pioneers because it only has 7 rounds per minute and it doesn't have an MG, so yeah, well, the Pioneers will take quite a beating or going down. Fokker Wolf coming in the north to try to grab the Nashorn. But now with the Pioneers retreating, he loses line of sight on the Nashorn, so that was not a good combination. And now the Fokker Wolf doesn't hit anything. Just hits an empty spot on the battlefield. No Pioneers and Pioneer. Pushing back Pioneers of Quadru, who's still up to a 13-11, but both sides so far only have ticked down a bit. And we are in C phase now. So both sides income is on the lower end of the spectrum. Only income lower is the C phase income of Maverick and the B phase income of V for Victory. Those are the 2 that are lower than the 100 points that we get here as Vanguard in C phase. Fokker Wolf flies around. Yeah, both sides have solid combined arms. North can be won by both. Look, engages onto Panzer 4s and half-tracks. So that's a nice one. Pak 40 not in position. Stook over here also not in position. Half-track goes down. But Stook might follow suit soon. Nashorn gets the first kill, but first penetration onto the Panzer 3H, but also gets penetrated by it. Another Nashorn coming up in the north, and let's see if Karma can hold on to the north. The center, his Sturmschützen do a solid job. The South MG42 coming in as well. Flak 41 is the first Panther. So in the phase where he has the least income, that's where he invests into Panther. Interesting. Also, the low amount of AA on both sides is pretty impressive. Look, now engaging onto Panzer Force as well. Together with the Nasrun. Nice combined pick onto the command Panzer 4. Really well done. Pak 40 now engaging onto Jagdpanzer, but doesn't get only a bounce. Look now engaging, but a lot of MG fire onto the Pak 40. Look now engaging Panzer 4. Not getting a kill there. Last one not coming in on either. And Stock 4 goes down. The JU-188 comes in again, and the Focke-Wulf is nearly out of ammo. So might not be able to get the kill there. Not getting any AA and getting a JU-188 in there though is really ballsy. Like, I get it somewhat in the south, where he had the Flak 41. He lost that by now as well. But in the north, that's... Ooh. Okay, Kama gets the flag back. In here. 11-13. Panzer 4 leader in the south dies. Nasrun picks on the falling back Panzer Force. North. SDKZ will try to kill the Nasrun, but Nasrun gets the kill. Another Nasrun showing up. Two of them might be able to beat the Jagdpanzer 4. Another Stuck, more infantry. A bit more Sturmschützen in the south as well. Together with a Stuck. So yeah, Kama, that seems to be his go for combined force here. Sturmschützen plus Stucks. Or a bit of push action. Formation we have seen a couple of times in this game already. Yeah, this game is quite intense. Like, it's high level Vanguard game that goes into a late game. It's really enjoyable, I think. Losing a Sturmschützen there is rough, but yeah, both sides micro quite well. And like, if I compare it to like season 3 or 2 micro, like really the skill level of the players went up quite significantly. Like, even compared to last season, I think the skill level is still a tick up, but that's obviously a bit closer. But like, compared to the first couple of seasons, it's a difference by quite a margin, which is really cool. Really cool to see that both of these guys play a high level game here, and also with these two divisions being in here, it's a nice one. Last one getting killed off, not finishing off the Jagdpanzer, getting one penetration in, but the second one didn't want to penetrate. It's quite interesting. Like, Nasson not penetrating against the Jagdpanzer is unlucky. 100 extra penetration don't give you the kill there. Pioneers engaging onto the Sturmschützen. First one getting taken out. Half track over here is in danger by a Stuck. More Schützen coming in as well. Together with some Martyrs and another Panther D in the center for Quadriu. So he goes for the late game now. Question is, will he get there? Panzer Grenadiers try to cut off the route over here. Sturmschützen though, will try to prevent it. Panzer 4 coming up, Panzer Shrek coming up. 13-11 again for Quadriu, but that's still 23 minutes on the clock. So that's at least minute 50 if it stays at this pace, which is quite a while. Especially for two Vanguard decks. Like, they might run out of stuff at some point. I'm really wondering how much armor Quadriu has left, because I think the AT tab of Kama should start to run dry, and you also don't get that many Stokes in that deck, so it will be really, really interesting if we go to a long game, if anyone will run out of something, and that will allow the other side to win, or if actually someone will achieve a breakthrough or something, thanks to better trades. Like, there's a couple of options here. You also could just end before that, so yeah. Okay. MG42 over here. And Pak 43 engaging on Flak 41. What an engagement. I'm still shitty at multitasking. Sorry guys, had to do something there for a second. Yeah. Nashorn in the north. Will we get the transport? Oh, what? Pressed him that heavily but didn't kill them? Okay, interesting. Now the Nashorn gets the kill, but the Panzer Grenadiers get out, which is nice for Quadro U, but only a single remaining Panzer IV. Like, the defensive battle fought over here was really nice to see. Like, both sides had a lot of skill involved in that, and like, the composition that Quadro U tried to break it with was really interesting, and the composition that Karma hold it with was really interesting like with the Nashorn having to micro against all the armored cars and so on. Really good usage of line of sight and so on. Like, that was top-notch play by both sides. I really love where we are at the moment, skill level-wise, in these matches. I really get hyped for this. Watching this for more Steel Division League Division 1 games. Like, this skill level is that high throughout the board this season, then it will be an absolute charm. And I think it will be the best season ever. But let's see where the other guys stand in the upcoming weeks. Or if these two guys might be the favorites in their crew. Because they seem to be pretty even, skill level wise. They seem to be in a pretty even match here. Like the micro on both sides. Around the division lines and so on. Pack 40s coming up. And then the armored car screen against the Nashorns in front of the Panzer IVs and so on. Pretty neat. The Panther push in the center. No, I think I don't understand why he uses his light tanks here and his Panthers here. I think that's a mistake by Quadro. He should have had the Panther down here, being the biggest boy there, and then some light tanks around here to abuse awkward line of sights. Like, if I have to be critical of something here for Quadro, I think it's the army composition down here. A bit. Like, he used it still pretty well, and it is a bit of an awkward one, and Karma still, like, took some casualties. Like, the trades were still pretty solid, but I think the Panthers over here, like, at least one of them should have been south. Like, having a Panther or so over here is pretty nice because it keeps the enemy from just pushing you over the edge often, but having two there is hard because pushing through this with Panthers is just pretty rough. Like, it's similar to what we saw last game on Chibutsny in the middle with the Panthers there dying. It's really rough to make that work on a village terrain like this. So I would have liked them to see dominate the open grounds in the south more so, or maybe having one over here that like side shots everything over here and so on, and maybe even threatens to break through over here, like stuff like this. Overall, I think this terrain, it doesn't have any flags, and that's why people underestimate it. But if you can win over here and like get the push in through here maybe, and then like get an AT gun in here or on here, and if you get even deeper onto the enemy side, like shooting down into the enemy deployment from here or from here, like, it's backbreaking. It can be absolutely devastating. But it's a bit counterintuitive, because in Steel Division 2 you're used to fight over territory where flags are and not about the territories where they aren't. And like, yeah. I'm not saying that it is the most important part of the map either, like, but it would like to see a bit more action there than we see usually. Marder he's here pushing in for Quadro U. They got a kill on the Stug. Now they're running up into area where they don't have vision and might just get popped by Pack 40s. Wolf coming in, finish off the MG. Stug now coming in. Sturmschützen versus Panzer Grenadiers. Ooh, the Panzer Grenadiers are moving. Yeah, that was not an attack order there on the Panzer Grenadiers, so that's bad news for the Panzer Grenadiers. Like, they took quite a bit more casualties than needed. And the Panzerschreck comes around for the Martyr. Nice movement here by Karma. He still has pretty good micro. Wolf gets onto the back 40, gets the kill. More Sturmschützen coming in, and the Panzerschreck should be able to get the Martyr. MG42 onto the Panzer Grenadier. And Martyr gets the Pack 40, gets the kill. Well, it's not so much about just pushing it, but like having something to support, like this line of sight, for example, is pretty neat. This line of sight is pretty neat. Like having some units here is nice. You don't even have to push to the enemy edge. Like, and like sometimes just having a small force here forces the enemy to react big time to it, because like if the enemy gets to your ridge, then you're really in a lot of trouble. So yeah, I think a bit more play over it would be nice. Like, I think it has potential. As I said, it's not the most important part of the map. The most important part of this map is this, which is why there is usually the most forces there. That's why this is so important though, but because it supports this. And then it also threatens up here for the opposite side each time. So yeah. Panther D now finally coming in the south, but Karma is getting in a good spot here. He is finally up to 1311, 25 minutes on the clock. And both sides start to run a bit low on armored forces. Schützen and Sturmschützen getting in over here. Should be able to deal with the Flammenwerfers. Ooh, nice run there with the Wolf, killing off the Schützen. Flammenwerfer is still getting fired upon by the Stuck. Flammenwerfer going down over here. Pioneer Führer versus Sturmschützen. Panther D comes around, snipes the Stuck. Pioneer Führer is retreating. Ooh, Karma not microing his Sturmschützen, eating the TNT to the face. And Panzer Grenadiers and half-legs coming in the south. Yeah, we're seeing the start of the phase where armored vehicles become valuable, but like a lot more, and any tanks matter. Tank matters a lot because, first of all, amount of units on the field gets thinned out by now, and both sides start to run low on tanks and anti-tank capabilities. So, like if Matcherino can keep his half-tracks and tanks here alive, he has a lot of potential down here. And it's only a 1311 after all for Karma, so it's not like Matcherino is on a big timer. Still 23 minutes to do something about it. Yeah, we are in here for a long run, I think. Already 36 minutes. I would expect it to go at least 10-15 minutes longer. Maybe we even get over the 1 hour mark. Day 188 coming in once again, and once again not challenged by a proper wolf. Bit of AA fire coming up this time though from Flak 41s. I'm not a big fan of this J188, by the way. Like 50 kilogram bombs and that big of a spread. I don't think if they're worth the cost of this plane. Like, they're pinned down pretty nicely, sure, but is pin really what you want from a bomber like that? I think it's more about killing stuff. Panther D gets engaged by the Pack 40 in the forest here, which now has to disengage. Hey, these trees nearly got them. There's a nice HE hit right next to them as well. Second Pack 40 is coming up. Ein Beobachtungsschwimmwagen. Thing up over here, but that's just radio. No artillery play whatsoever from either side, which is interesting. Like, I think 78 has a pretty strong artillery game, but I guess, like against Matcherino, playing artillery is a bit risky because he's just constantly pressuring. So finding the time to invest into it is hard. And yeah, we'll see if this game stabilizes even a bit more at a 12-12 situation, if Karma starts to invest into it, or if we just really play a completely artillery-free game. Like, even mortar half-tracks also would be nice. Matcherino not the guy to play this with, like, he only plays infantry and tanks usually, like, he's not known for bring in any artillery pieces usually, and like also plane only as support. But his tank micro and his aggressive playstyle obviously are rather dangerous. That's what got him here. Really not the guy for the mortars. I'm pretty sure we will see quite a lot of mortars though in Division 1, as obviously Nilla is back in the league, so all you mortar fans out there, don't be worried. We will get them. Just seems like not today. Panzer Grenadier coming in. Yeah, but the issue with 1000 kilogram bomb versions is obviously always the availability. But yeah, the like, I think you would love to have one with like 250 kilogram bombs or so, with a 2, 4, 6 availability curve. Like that would be the charm, I think. But yeah, you take what you get. Sturmschützen are forced to unload over here. The Panzer Grenadiers that are firing upon them start to get annihilated from all around. Pack 40 over here dealing with the half tracks as well. Yeah, it's still quite a good arc of anti-tank fire. Like everything that goes a bit too deep here for Brother Ryu will kill the wrath of all these units. And he doesn't bring in any tanks lately, so mostly infantry. So Brother Ryu might run low on tanks. Like, maybe he just doesn't want to invest into them, but I don't think so. Like, I think he's actually might run low here. He's still up to 1311 though, so 20-minute timer on Kama. More Sturmschützen coming in. More Sturmschützen hitting the battlefield. G42s down here in the south, engaging the Panzer Grenadiers. And yeah, in the north, no engagement whatsoever. No AT guns left over here for Kama. That he doesn't bring in another one up here, I think shows you that he's also starting to be really resourceful with where he brings in tank guns, because he might run low as well. This Pack 40 position is really nice. That's also some one you have to remember. Nice if you can understand that. Yeah. Being able to snipe this reinforcement road from up there is pretty cool. But now Panzer Grenadiers and half-tracks engaging the Pack 40. Half-track at least gets killed off, but Pack 40 falls, so still an okay trade I think for Ryu and overall. And now a lot of IG-18s coming in as the makeshift AT guns basically. We're still 1311 for Ryu. And he make the 2-0 against the champion. That would be quite the start of the season, not gonna lie. Ryu going up 2-0 against the champion of last season. That would be a start to the season that I would really like. That would spice up things. But still quite a bit off, like 18 minutes to get one more flag. Pretty sure Kama can do that. The Panzer Grenadiers down here getting engaged by Sturmschützen. One of them getting caught up in light cover again, so yeah, Ryu reacting in time, calling them back. Will take obviously a bit of casualties on the way out. These Panzer Grenadiers got stuck in their fallback scenario though. They tried to flee to the side, but on there. So they will just get annihilated by the Sturmschützen. Well, tanks of Ryu start pushing. But there's the Nashorns, there's the IGs. And J188 comes in with bombs. MG42 gets killed off. Pack 41 is still firing here, and it still has quite a lot of HE shells left, so it's not like this one is running out of HE shells anytime soon. But the bombs will be annoying. Coming onto the tanks. In quite a couple of them down. Hawker Wolf here nearly getting pinned down by Flak 41, but just getting the fire onto it before that and getting some kills onto Flak 41 personnel. Sturmschützen trying to get the 12-12 back here, and they should be able to for Kama. If they spot the Panzer Grenadiers, those will go down easily as well. Gold coming in once more against the IGs. And no fires out for Kama. Like really, the airplay in this game was so low. And that, I think, is a good representation of why, like at the moment, fighter bombers are not that meta anymore, because this game just didn't allow for much airplay, because both sides were constantly locked in that grind, and like if ever you invest into air, the enemy's armor just has the potential of breaking through because it's quite quick and so on. So like against infantry, the enemy needs a bit more time to take territory, and so you can just lose a bit of stuff over time and then bomb him and win the game through being effective with your bombers. But against armored divisions, if you invest into bombers and then you have not enough AT at some point and he just breaks through there, your bombers will not do much of helping you out there in time before you're going down to 59 or even an 18.6 that your enemy has on you. Panzer Grenadiers over here, engaging the Sturmschützen. Looks like the Panzer Grenadiers are winning more on the lower numbers, but Quadriu doesn't want to risk it. Holds it home. He knew that he killed the Pak 40 up there, but Karma brought up a new one, so that would have been a really, really risky move here with the Panzer 4 and the Jagdpanzer 4, so it's good that I think he moves it back. And okay, Quadriu actually saved up quite a couple of points. I wasn't sure if he was out of armor. He wasn't. He just was saving up for this. Now we have 2 Panthers and 5 Panzer IVs coming in for heavy armored push in the south. Let's see if Quadriu can make the breakthrough happen with that. Karma at the same time though going up to 1410. Grabbing the flags over here. Having still a couple of Nashorn Stooks, Dark 41s, IGs, so another Nashorn coming in for him in the south as well. So overall, pretty solid forces. Jagdpanzer falling back. Sturmschützen moving in over here. Well, Sturmschützen still have a lot of firepower. Like, damage-wise, they out-damage the Panzer Grenadiers by quite a bit. Panzer Grenadiers have, if you could add it up, 2.5 damage. Sturmschützen 3.9. So obviously you have to be the accuracy and so on as well. But like yeah, Sturmschützen have quite solid damage. Like for sure more damage than Panzer Grenadiers on the medium range. Oh, nice kill with Panzer Track. Important kill onto a Jagdpanzer because yeah, the Jagdpanzer is annoying for Stooks. The Jagdpanzer goes down, Panzer IV goes down. So 2 important kills on that flank, because if Quadriu could have combined these tanks with these tanks, then I think the situation for Quadriu would have been really good. But now Karma still has a pretty solid AT setup all around this space, so every move that Quadriu makes, Karma can counter if like the timings are up. It's really now a game of micro down here and like getting the right timing and hitting the like basically similar like a rhythm game, basically nearly like getting the combo together and getting everything at the right time on the right spot. This Panzer IV, for example, was not on the right spot at all. No support whatsoever from the other tanks and just went in there and didn't do anything. Sturmschützen here getting annihilated though. We're already losing a Panzer IV there. Another Jagdpanzer coming up for Quadriu, who is now the one getting ticked down. 13-11 here for Karma. It's a really slow game, but it's like it's not a boring game because it's constant combat all around the map, and the positional play of both players is so interesting to see. Like, one of the reasons being that we have a division that we haven't seen in a while, and that is also quite unique. Like, there are few divisions like 78 Sturm, or no divisions like 78 Sturm. It's really cool to see it back on the menu, and it's also cool to see it perform pretty nicely so far. Like, it's obviously not looking anywhere near insane. Like, Karma wasn't able to make any super great pushes and so on, and like that's really the issue of 78 Sturm, that it doesn't really go well in the offensive. But it has a lot of good defensive tools, and if you trade it well enough in the defense, then you can also afford to lose maybe a bit more in the offense when you push back. So, yeah. This is a really nice setup. Like, yeah, if you want to see get yourself a good late game setup for your AT capabilities against the tank division, and you think about how to do it, like, this is a perfect textbook example, I think. It will take quite a bit of good micro from QuadRyu trying to break this, if it's even possible. And I think one thing that QuadRyu now is really missing, instead of 2 of these Panzer IVs, is a mortar half-track. Like, a mortar half-track against Flak 41s is just so dangerous. So deadly. Like, I think if I have to be, like, that's something I know QuadRyu doesn't like mortar half-tracks and artillery and so on overall, and I agree with him that it's not the most effective, like, in a vacuum. But if you already have a combined arms, then having better combined arms in the long run wins. Like, only having more stuff in a setup like this doesn't win. In the early game, it's a different story, but in this positioning, having a mortar half-track that can take out the enemy Flak 41s and forces maybe Karma to do something would be worth a lot of gold. Instead, Karma is the one now who forces QuadRyu to do something by keeping these Panzer IVs bombed permanently, and also having this really nicely placed Nashorn. Ooh, this might end really badly for QuadRyu here now. Yeah, Panzer also falling back into it. Panther's not able to do anything about it. Wolf running into 3 Flak 41s, not doing too much either. Oh yeah, losing 2 Panzer IVs and a Yak Panzer IV already. This is a rough situation here. This is a really rough situation now for QuadRyu. These losses were some he wasn't allowed to take. Like, that was supposed to be the force that he was to win the game with. And instead now it's basically nearly halved in its strength without getting any victories for him. Thanks for the follow, Mr. Zero Wattman, and also thanks for the follow, Fuck01. Welcome to the channel. I hope you enjoyed the cast. There's a lot to come. We just started into the new season. We're starting with a really banger of a series. Like, this is an intense one. Flak 41 88 coming up back over here. Nashorn engaging onto the Panzer IV-H. MG42s coming in over here. MG42s coming in, and Karma keeps up to 1311. And I think at some point he could even push in the north if necessary. But yeah, more Flak 41s coming up, but that doesn't give you the 1212. Like, it's really insane that no one here has artillery, but at least like Karma has from time to time his J188s, so by now he also has the Flak 41s to surely defend them. So he, in a long time, will be the one that forces QuadRyu into pushing. It's a rough matchup here, now, at this point in the game for QuadRyu. And yeah, like, mortar halfback here would have been worth its weight in gold. Which is quite a bit, like a mortar halfback. I think that's a couple of tons, so that's a bit of gold. Nashorns hitting the battery thrower. Actually, not quite sure how heavy a half track is. Guess something like 5 tons or so? Maybe less? Don't know. Maybe, like, no, I guess like 5, 7 tons. Like, depending on how much is in there. MG42s now against Panzer Grenadiers. And we got the first artillery piece on the battlefield. I would expect Panzerlehr to run out of infantry first as well. Obviously. Naval Rifle 41 coming in. I'm also surprised to not see the buffed infantry unit that got the price reduced. Like, forgot the name of it. That now costs 25 instead of 35 points. That 14-man squadron. What's the name of it again in 78th Storm? Someone in chat. I totally forgot the price for the name of that. MG42 over here, staying around the bushes. Yeah, the Bavarians, genau, right. Like, surprised to not see any Viverums. Well, because for 35 points, obviously they were unplayable. But for 25 points, getting such a bullet sponge unit that also is pretty okay in CQC. Like, I think that's a good unit for a division that, other than that, only has 40 and 35 point infantry. So, yeah, not having them around, it was a surprise for me. But Karma is up to a 1410. So, yeah, can Karma get the victory here? Flak 41 is engaging. Another Flak 41, but the Flak 41 of Karma has the better urgency, so it has the higher rate of fire and takes less stress damage and the better accuracy. So, yeah, part of you is losing that. This shows you that this is a late game that goes all the way when you have Flak 41s in a 1v1 duel. Like, that's not what you usually see when both sides still have good forces to fight with. This is a desperation move. Like, I think Quadroon realizes that he is on the brink of defeat here and he needs to do something, but yeah, moving your Flak 41s forward maybe not the best choice. MG42 over here kills the Pioneer Führer. And IG-18 engages on the way back. Pioneer Führer went down, but MG42 will go down as well here, most likely. Oh, it just survives so slightly. Nice. That's something good for Quadroon, but he is now heavily outnumbered in the center. Karma finally has set up a push, and he will execute it now. Still no movement in the north whatsoever. That's so interesting. Flak 41 now engaging over here. MG42s, though, killing another one. And 2-star MG42s deal quite a bit of damage to Flak 41s. And this one is going down, melting it super quickly. Now the MG42 is also melting this Flak 41. And yeah, that shows you why you don't want to have Flak 41 as your frontline units. Like, they're okay as a defensive tool that stops like a zoning tool that stops enemy tanks of just rolling into you and so on. And like maybe at some engaging some infantry that somehow shows up at 2,000 meter range or so, but you don't want to have them fighting against other ground units. They're still AAPs first and only a makeshift ground attack unit because they take the extra damage. Last one here though, getting killed by Panzer IV. Nice kill there. Flak 41 of Karma now in a duel with Panzer IV. And that one we wanted should win. Yeah, Panzer IV gets out of here. And Hawker Wolf coming in over here. No AAs over here for Karma, but he's up to 59 now. The Panther can't really push in there. Panzer Courier is on the way. Flak 41 doesn't really help either. Then 3 naval Werfers now on the battlefield. So Karma also can force a breakthrough with that, I guess. Overall, by now having the way better trades lately, so also having way more forces on the battlefield. And it looks like Karma gets to 1-1 here. Which is fine, I think, for both. Like, Quadroon should be pretty happy still with 1-1 in this series. And Karma at least does stop it from being a disaster, keeping the 1-1, keeping solid like losing a game makes your chances of going into the playoffs quite a bit lower, even if you're Karma. So like at least getting 1 point out of the series keeps your chances obviously in the middle of the bunch. If you tie everything, then you're in the medium, in the middle of the group. And I mean, I would expect Karma to win at least against a couple of these guys that are in the group. He's still the favorite after all. And I think this game also showed why he is and why he won last season. Like, he had so many cool micro plays in this one. And yeah, Quadroon still played really good in this one here as well. But Karma just showed his own style and once more, and yeah, all the Stormshoots in this one were pretty cool. It was pretty cool to see some MP44 units again. It was like, this feels like a blast from the past. Having some 78 Storm play. It would be really cool to see more of it again. Because it's a unique division. It's an absolutely unique division, so always nice to have them around. Would also be cool if Skier could get a bit more buffed again, and then having these guys in ranked would be cool as well, or in League as well. Horuk, obviously, like 30 VDV, MGB, divisions like that, always cool to see. Something out of the German tank, Soviet mechanized, or like Soviet infantry, MCHA, and then Allied mechanized meta that we have at the moment. Divisions out of the ordinary are always welcome. So now, this time the Flak 41 tries it together with the Panzer IV, but the 2-star Flak 41 still should win in the 1v1 fight here. This seems to be the final push here of Quadro U. I'm surprised to see the other Flak 41 not moving forward, but it engages the Nastro now, I think. So, that's good. ME109 comes in to take the fire off the Flak 41s. It's a pretty cool idea here by Karma. And Panther is now trying to deal with the Nashorn and the Flak 41. But Nashorn is dangerous for them. First Panther goes down. Flak 41 now finally pinned down. But Nashorn now moving in once more again. Panther disengaging. Karma stays at a 13-11. Has 6 minutes to tick down left. Like, if he can keep it up for 6 more minutes, he will win the game. He loses the flag over here though. And the Panther is also pretty close of getting the flag over here. That's the Flak 41s. Will stop the J88 from dropping its bombs. And actually might kill it with the Gepard together. J188 already trailing flag smoke. And there it goes. Nebel Warfare still coming in once more. Nebel Warfare 41's feel underwhelming when it comes to damage. So this Panther already took some, but even with a direct rocket hit in the end, it's still alive. Like, that's the issue with Nebel Warfare 41's, I think. They are too supply they are high supply consumption for minimal damage. Like, and the radius is not big enough to have them as basic, like, off-map replacement either. Like, yeah, one barrage doesn't even, like, even with direct hits, it doesn't kill Panzer carriers. It only kills 1 man per hit, which is insanely low, or something like that. Like, the reload time is forever, and the supply consumption is insane. So Naval Warfare 41s, I'm really surprised to see them here. Would have expected more usual artillery, like not rocket one. Flak 41 here, the 2-star Flak 41 is an absolute beast for Karma. Like, that unit paid off for itself by so many times. Even kills Panther with its last shot. I have to check out that guy in the statistics afterwards. Karma pushes in the middle. Quadro gets flag in the south, keeps it for 59 with that, but gets pushed back once more. And loses the Panther, loses a couple of Gepards. Yeah, Quadro now with his final hurrah down here. I don't think that will work out. Like, Stokes are around, Flak 41s are still around. All of this means that he is in trouble. Naval Warfare also could fire down here. And obviously, even if he wins the south, it's only maximum of 2, like, or 3 flags, like if he goes really deep. But even that will only bring it back to 12-12, so. And it's highly unlikely, and he's down to only 3 minutes right now. 1.5 minutes if it goes back to a 59, so. Yeah, it's a rough spot right now for Quadro U. 2 minutes 44 on the clock. No, I absolutely don't miss it. I think the supply consumption should go down, Tsunami, so that like the naval warfare where it is at the moment is still somewhat effective. Like, not completely useless, but just the cost of it at the moment, at the point where it is just too high. And like, not the upfront cost, like I think 60 points, I mean it's the same price as a mortar, so that's fine. But just the supply cost is just too high for what it does. So that should go down by a bit. Flak 41 over here gets killed off. Look over here, gets picked off by something. I think the Panzer IV is over here. But it's back to a 59 as Quadro U is losing the north right now. Blitzen got the flag over there for a second. And Tama could even just rush onto this flag, I think, and keep that first couple of seconds as well, and then just finish the game with that, but he doesn't even need that, so he doesn't do it. Nimblewurf is not hitting here, but Panzer Force get rattled. 1 minute 30 remaining, and yeah, this is the end of this game, of this match. And I think we will have a 1v1 at hand, 1-1 at hand. Which is, like, I think the perfect start for League. Like, this series overall was a really nice start. We saw one new map, we saw divisions that we usually don't see, and we saw really good play from both sides. With also both sides getting to show that they can win games. So, yeah, what more to wish from a game number one, from a match between two players like this? Because obviously also the storyline is pretty nice. The up-and-comer against the reigning champion is a nice one as well. The 188 comes in, and then we want a 9 to just finish it off here. And I think it also showed like Throttleu's weakness. If it goes to the late game, he is a bit weaker than the top punch. So in the early game he can go toe-to-toe with them and can beat them, but in the late game Karma still comes out on top, and that was a really good game from both sides. GGVP to both taking 1 point home, and yeah, this was really fun, and I'm now even more hyped for this season than I was before. Absolutely stoked. So yeah, let's see if any other games are up, or if that will be it with League for now. I hope there might be more. Would be nice if there would be more. Will anyone play here? Someone used the SOD bot. Oh no, that's just for registering. Okay. Okay. So let's see. Do we have any other replays? Do we have any other ongoing matches? Would be nice to cast something from like another division, maybe. But at the moment it doesn't quite look like it. At the moment it doesn't quite look like it. So yeah, I think we will have to shift the focus of this for after that. But yeah, let's have a look onto the kills of the 88. Look, we're also really insane. But where's the 88? Oh my god, that Nashorn. Whew. Like 40. Another really good Nashorn. Wait, was it that it? I guess the Nashorn got all the kills. Like, that was the Flak 41. Ungeschickt. Okay. That was the Flak 41. Okay, that's disappointing. Like, I thought it would have killed more. No. Ah. Sad. But, yeah.